Every society, every civilization, every generation has faced the same question: who should hold power? The strongest, the richest, the smartest, or the wisest? History is filled with extraordinary leaders and terrible ones. Some inspired nations, others brought unimaginable suffering. So perhaps, before asking, who deserves power, we should first ask, what kind of person should ever possess it? If power rewards ambition rather than wisdom, can humanity ever truly flourish? When we hear the word power, many of us think about governments, presidents, prime ministers, kings. But power exists everywhere. Parents have power, teachers have power, business owners, scientists, journalists, technology companies, even ideas have power. Power shapes the opportunities people receive, the education they experience, the laws they live under, the freedoms they enjoy, the future they inherit. Power isn't the problem. The real question is, how should power be used? More than 500 years ago, Niccolò Machiavelli looked at the world around him and reached a difficult conclusion. A ruler who tries to be morally good all the time will eventually lose power, because the world isn't always moral. He believed people were often self-interested, unpredictable, deceitful, and because of that, a successful leader must sometimes learn how not to be good. Not because cruelty is admirable, but because survival comes first. It's one of the most controversial ideas in political philosophy, but here's the question. Was Machiavelli telling us how the world should work, or simply describing how it often does? Long before Machiavelli, another philosopher imagined something very different. Plato believed the greatest danger wasn't that good people were too kind, it was that unwise people gained power. His solution: the philosopher king, a leader, not chosen because they were wealthy, popular, or famous, but because they had spent decades learning wisdom, justice, self-control, truth. For Plato, leadership wasn't a reward, it was a responsibility. Perhaps the question isn't who wants power. Perhaps it's who has spent a lifetime preparing to use it wisely. Centuries later, another philosopher challenged us again. Immanuel Kant believed politics should never abandon morality. Public actions should reflect moral truth, not convenience, not popularity, not fear. But if human beings are imperfect, how do we protect ourselves from those who abuse power? Perhaps the answer isn't perfect leaders. Perhaps it's strong institutions, fair laws, independent courts, freedom of speech, checks and balances, systems designed to protect ordinary people, not because humanity is hopeless, but because humanity is human. One of the greatest dangers may not be ignorance, It may be believing we already know enough. Modern psychology calls this the Dunning-Kruger effect. People with limited knowledge often overestimate their understanding, not because they're foolish, but because they don't yet know what they don't know. Ironically, those with genuine expertise often become more humble, because the more they learn, the more complexity they discover. Confidence and competence are not always the same thing. More than 2,000 years before psychologists gave it a name, Socrates had already recognized the pattern. After an oracle declared him the wisest man in Athens, he set out to prove it wrong. He questioned politicians, poets, craftsmen one by one. He discovered something remarkable: many believed themselves wise. Until they were asked difficult questions, Socrates reached a simple conclusion: I know that I know nothing. Not because he literally knew nothing, but because he recognized the limits of his own understanding. Perhaps true wisdom begins with humility. If history teaches us anything, it is that every civilization asks similar questions. How should we live? Who should lead? What makes a just society? Different cultures, different religions, different political systems often disagree on the answers. Yet remarkably, many point towards similar qualities: wisdom, integrity, curiosity, compassion, purpose, service, humility. Perhaps these qualities matter more than the This channel isn't interested in asking which philosophy wins, which ideology is superior, or who should dominate the conversation. Instead, we'll ask what helps people flourish. We'll explore different perspectives, listen to criticism, acknowledge uncertainty, search for common ground, because every great civilization begins not with perfect answers, but with better questions. Power will always shape the world. But perhaps our future doesn't depend on eliminating power. Perhaps it depends on cultivating wisdom. Before we hand power to anyone, history reminds us confidence alone is never enough. Knowledge matters, character matters, humility matters. And maybe the societies that flourish are not those with the most powerful leaders, but those with the wisest citizens. I don't expect everyone watching to agree. In fact, I hope you don't. This channel isn't about telling you what to think. It's about exploring ideas that help us think more deeply. Because progress doesn't begin when everyone agrees. It begins when we're willing to ask better questions. Until next time, become who you were born to be.
And then suggest the ways that I believe cities can be the seat of the solution. So let me start with some definitions. By civics, I simply mean the art of being a pro-social, problem-solving contributor in a self-governing community. Civics is the art of citizenship, what Bill Gates Sr. calls simply showing up for life. And it encompasses three things: a foundation of values, an understanding of the systems that make the world go round, and a set of skills that allow you to pursue goals and to have others join in that pursuit. And that brings me to my definition of power, which is simply this: the capacity to make others do what you would have them do. Sounds menacing, doesn't it? We don't like to talk about power. We find it scary. We find it somehow evil. We feel uncomfortable naming it. In the culture and mythology of democracy, power resides with the people. Period. End of story. Any further inquiry not necessary and not really that welcome. Power has a negative moral valence. It sounds Machiavellian inherently. It seems inherently evil. But in fact, power is no more inherently good or evil than fire or physics. It just is. And power governs how any form of government operates, whether